You know, we could even see the danger of the food chain getting broken, even for those of us who live in urban areas. So I think the ethical dimensions of this crisis are very profound, and I'd like to just draw attention to a small number of them. I'm sure there are many other aspects which we could talk about, but let me pick out a few which strike me as being very central, very essential, at least as I see it. I think the first thing is that this pandemic has proved to us, if nothing else has, the fragility of human life, of our life on this planet. You know, I think we were approaching a point in human history where we had a lot of hubris. You know, we were pretty sure that we were in command of things. We understood nature, we understood economics, we understood all of these kinds of things. And I think this proved to us that while we, to some extent, do understand those things, have not nearly understood them to the extent that we ever imagined that we did. The world is bigger, it's different, it's not understood in many ways that even the furthest reaches of human science have not been able to penetrate yet. And that's become very clear, I think, in the search for vaccine for the virus. You know, the best scientific minds around the world are working on this issue. And, you know, we're still evidently some way from solving the problem of what might in fact combat this virus, even understanding exactly where it came from. We don't know. Was it transmitted from animals? Was it generated by some other means? You know, is still a mystery. And this vulnerability, the fragility, in fact, I think, of human life is not something we necessarily have to fear, but something we should grasp, something that then reorientates us in a positive way to understanding our relationship to other people and to the wider world around us. Part of that wider world is, of course, nature. And I think we've seen very clearly our dependence, our dependence or codependence on nature, and the extent to which our relationship to nature is critical, because misuse of that nature is the source of many potential problems, not only this virus, but, you know, I've read people talking about the possibility of further viruses emerging, you know, in almost an unlimited way, because we've abused in many ways our relationship to animals, to the rest of nature, the way we are eating wild creatures, as well as for non-vegetarians, you know, ones that are farmed in various ways, shows us, of course, that dependency, but also how little we understand of our real ecological relationship to those very complex patterns of nature. I think it's also showed us what I think Buddhists would call, therefore, our interdependence on one another, but very much our interdependence on nature itself. And I think this has got many social and political implications, which we'll collectively have to think through in the coming months, including the way in which maybe our politics has to change. You know, the nation state, many people have said this in the past, of course, in a globalized world,